There we are. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Actually, I'm going to take a minute. I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit because we got a little too much at that wall. So we're just going to give it a bit of a wiggle over this way. But it's not quite 9 a.m., so we got a little bit of time to manage this stuff. There we go. That should be good. Perfect. Well, a little low. This is the problem. When you don't have permanent cameras installed into the wall, like fancy people, you're like me and you get stuck having to toy around with this thing. So you're going to notice George, number 2 over here. All right, so we got George 2 that came in yesterday. George 1 went and got himself hitched. He's got a wife over here now, so we had to get George 2. So we can focus a little bit more on work. It's good because he's a full skeleton that's movable, and you can see all sides of him, front and back. So we can kind of help teach you guys a little bit of where the muscles might insert and exit and all that kind of stuff. So, fun little tool. Plus, George, he looks a little grumpy right now. Close him up, George. Close him up. He's a little bit grumpy right now, but we're going to cheer him up, so don't worry about that. All right, so, as always, before we start our stretches, we make sure we're hydrated. Right, we have a cup of, well, I have a cup of coffee. You don't need coffee. But you do need water. Caffeinated beverage is just a bonus. There is no real issue to caffeine, people, unless you are allergic to caffeine. Right? And that's where you get those jitters. That's an allergic reaction. Right? But if caffeine has no effect on you, it just makes you feel good, don't worry about it. Calories, there's only 3 calories in a cup of coffee. And there's so little caffeine that for it to affect your heart rate negatively, you need to drink at least 30 cups a day. So, a couple in the morning, not a problem. All right, so we're going to work out some, obviously the full body, head to toe as usual. Now, I just want to go through something a little quick, okay? A question that came to me was about the neck. When we stretch the neck, you have to understand, we're not stretching the bones in the neck, right? You're not stretching your spinal column. That is not a good idea, right? You don't want to do this and hear all these cracks in your neck. That's bad. What you're stretching out is the tissue, right, that holds that head up in the back, along the shoulders on the sides, and a little bit in the front. You don't want, it's not your spine. If you're a little stiff in the morning, it's not your spine, right? It's your tissue. So that's where we're stretching out. So when we're doing it, you shouldn't feel pressure in the center, right? And that's why we don't push our head down. So we push our head down, we're going to feel it in the spine. We keep the chin forward, and we pull that tissue. Okay, so just a little clarification for anyone who's a little wondering about that. So, as always, get yourself a little towel. We're going to make use of that. And we're good to go. Okay? So, being said, now that we talked about the neck, let's try it out. Okay? So, remember, don't push the chin in here. You push the chin in there, it bends that top of the spinal column. We're pushing the head forward and down. We're stretching that tissue in the back. Just like that. Good. We bring it back. Good. Now, we'll go to the side. Again, we're feeling the tissue here. Right? Because I'm not bending my neck. As you see, I'm not bending this way. I'm leaning my head. So I'm not pulling the top of my head down. I'm leaning the whole thing over to pull on this section. Yeah, your arms can do whatever they want to do at this point. Right? Good. Nice. So, shoulders. We're going to change it up a bit today. So, I know we often do the shoulder rolls, which are great. And you can do those anytime you want. But there are certain people, obviously everyone's different, that have a little bit of impediment. So, we're going to do some shoulder circles. We're going to do some pendulum swing, okay? So, find something to lean on. There's no need to tax yourself on something difficult, right? And you want to just have yourself bent over, back straight, always back straight. Okay. And we're just going to make these little small circles like a pendulum. Right, we'll let that arm swing a bit. Good. Now the other direction. Perfect. Now, it might be a little bit easy for you, and that's fine, right? I have nothing to hold on to here, so I'm just going to do the old-fashioned way. I'm just going to core strength the whole thing. Here we go. All right, good. Now back the other way. Good. Right, nice and easy. Now, we're going to use a towel. You're still working on those shoulders.